and welcome, ready to get your eyes blasted with some pure retro vibes. Because today we're jumping right into the whole pixel art explosion happening in modern video games. Forget the super slick, hyper-real graphics for a minute. We're going to explore why this, blocky style isn't just back, but feels really fresh.
Totally. And we've gathered a bunch of insights to really unpack why these little squares are, well, such a big deal right now.
Okay, let's start there then. When you see pixel art now, what's the first thing that hits you? Is it just that retro feel?
Well, yeah, that first hit of nostalgia is definitely strong. You get that warm, familiar feeling, especially if you played games back in the day.
Right.
But it's really so much more than just, remembering the good old days. This low-res look, it's fundamental. It's part of gaming history. It's like a showcase of the sheer creativity of the first developers. I mean, they were wrestling with some serious technical limits.
Okay, yeah, let's dig into that. We see the charm now, but what were those early creators actually, struggling with? What forced this style?
Well, okay, picture this. The computers, the consoles back then, they had a tiny fraction of the power we carry in our pockets now.
Seriously limited.
Oh, yeah. We're talking incredibly basic processing power, hardly any memory, and color palettes. Maybe just a few dozen options, if that.
Yeah.
And the screens, really low resolution. So artists couldn't just, draw whatever they wanted. They had to be super strategic.
Yeah.
Every single pixel.
Like a mosaic block by block?
Exactly. Like a mosaic. Sometimes planned out on graph paper first even.
Yeah.
You had maybe the memory equivalent of one photo on your phone now for a whole game.
That's wild.
And maybe only 16 colors to work with instead of millions.
Digital pointillism, but you can play it. It's kind of amazing how those limited designs, Mario, Link, Mega Man, became so iconic. They basically built genres.
Precisely. And despite all those constraints, those artists made characters and worlds that weren't just recognizable. They were, unforgettable. Think about Mega Man's silhouette, or the green tunic, or the look of Hyrule in the first Zelda. That wasn't luck. It was serious skill within tight boundaries.
Yeah.
And, as tech got better and 3D arrived, pixel art kind of faded from the mainstream for a bit. People saw it as old-fashioned.
But not everyone forgot it.
Nope. A dedicated bunch of artists and devs always knew it had real artistic potential. They kept the flame alive, so to speak.
Which brings us nicely to the big comeback. And it feels like nostalgia is just a massive engine driving that.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyone who spent hours glued to an NES or a SNES, you see that look and bam, instant connection. It's like visual comfort food.
For sure. For a lot of gamers, especially, the ones from the 80s and 90s, pixel art is tied right into their childhoods, those first gaming moments. It brings back memories of arcades, getting a new game, exploring those blocky worlds. It's familiar. It's comforting.
It's interesting, though, because it's not just the older crowd anymore, is it? I talk to younger gamers who really dig the style.
That's true.
They don't have that direct nostalgia, maybe, but they seem to appreciate how different it looks from all the super realistic stuff.
Exactly. They see it as unique, as a cool aesthetic choice. And it kind of mirrors other retro trends, right? Like vinyl coming back or vintage fashion.
Yeah, good point.
There's this broader cultural thing about connecting with the past, with stuff that feels authentic, that has a story. Pixel art games give you that link to gaming's roots.
But okay, it can't just be about feeling warm and fuzzy, because modern pixel art games aren't just copies. There's real artistry involved, right? Making something compelling with simple tools.
You absolutely nail it there. Nostalgia gets you in the door, maybe, but the lasting appeal, that's about its artistic merit.
Okay.
It's a very specific skill set. You need a solid grasp of visual basics. When you've only got so many pixels, so few colors, every single choice matters. A lot.
Like where you put this pixel versus that one?
Yeah. Think about, the original Metroid. That limited color palette they used for Samus. It created this iconic, almost industrial vibe, perfect for the game's isolated mood. More detail might have actually weakened that feeling.
So you need to be a master of color theory, composition, animation, but all inside this tiny box. It almost sounds harder than having unlimited options.
In some ways, yeah, it really is. Artists have to be incredibly inventive to get complex ideas and feelings across.
Right.
But that simplicity, that can be its strength. It forces clarity, a directness you don't always get with super detailed graphics. There's a kind of imaginative charm to it, like looking at a detailed miniature.
And it definitely stands out. You see a well-made pixel art game today, and it just jumps out from the crowd of games chasing realism.
Precisely. It's like it's declaring itself, we're doing something different here. intentionally.
Yeah.
It's a refreshing alternative, lets a unique artistic voice come through. The real art is balancing that simplicity and depth, saying a lot with a little, stirring emotions with blocks and colors.
Okay, now, it feels impossible to talk about this resurgence without talking about indie games. The indie scene seems absolutely central here.
Oh, undeniably. The indie scene has been a huge, huge driver.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, think about it. For indie devs, often small teams, night budgets, pixel art is just really practical.
Makes sense. Cheaper, faster to make than high-end 3D.
Way less resource intensive, yeah? So they can put more energy, more money into other things like gameplay, story, sound design, the stuff that really makes the game tick.
Right. It sort of levels the playing field visually, lets smaller teams make something that looks good, looks distinctive, without needing a giant art team or crazy expensive software.
Exactly. And it gives them huge artistic freedom, too. They can craft a really personal, unique visual style that reflects their vision, not just chasing mainstream trends.
And that freedom has led to some incredible stuff.
For sure. Just this fantastic wave of diverse, innovative pixel art games pushing the style in new directions all the time.
We're talking games like Undertale, with its amazing story and characters.
Perfect example. Or Stardew Valley. Super charming, addictive.
Oh, yeah. Lost hours to that one.
Haha, right. Or Terraria, with that huge open world. All visually distinct, all hugely successful.
And it really proves the point, doesn't it? You don't need the shiniest graphics to make a totally captivating game.
Absolutely. They've shown pixel art games can be deep, emotional, make tons of money. Really challenging that old idea that graphics are everything.
And it seems like that message is getting through even beyond the indie world now. Like, bigger studios are noticing.
That's right. The success of those indie hits hasn't gone unnoticed. The big players, the publishers, they're seeing the appeal. They see the artistic value, the creative potential.
So it's not just seen as the budget option anymore.
No, definitely not. It's being embraced more as a deliberate artistic choice, even by bigger studios.
So it's like a valid direction, not just plan B if you can't afford fancy graphics.
Exactly. It gives mainstream devs a chance to experiment. Try different styles, different genres, maybe without the huge cost and pressure of photorealism. Allows them to focus maybe more on gameplay innovation or narrative. And we're even seeing some studios incorporate pixel art stylistically or create pixel art remakes of classics.
Yeah, bridging the old and new.
It's a cool way to do it. It signifies a real shift, I think. A recognition that, graphics aren't the only thing that matters. There's value in artistic diversity.
It really does feel like pixel art has moved past just being retro. It feels, I don't know, timeless now. Within gaming, anyway.
I think that's a great way to put it. Timeless.
It just connects with people, doesn't it? No matter when you started playing.
Yeah, its enduring appeal comes from that mix, the history, the unique artistry, the way it cuts through trends. It reminds us where games came from.
Yeah.
The ingenuity of those early creators working with almost nothing.
Right.
It celebrates the craft of making games. And honestly, in a world full of visually noisy, complex graphics, pixel art can be really refreshing.
Clear, simple.
Yeah. Clarity and simplicity. Lets you focus on the gameplay, the story, the core experience. Its comeback isn't just nostalgia. It's proof of its artistic value. It celebrates the past while inspiring the future.
Wow. Well, this has been a really fascinating look at the whole pixel art phenomenon. It's definitely way more than just like a trip down memory lane.
For sure.
It's a story about history, art, creativity under pressure, and just a reminder that great games come in all sorts of visual styles.
Absolutely.
So for you listening out there, what pixel art game, old or new, really stuck with you? And why do you think it resonated so strongly? Let us know. We're always curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll catch you next time for another exploration into something fascinating.